guys! Okay, before I get started, I just want to tell you guys that it is currently the middle of the night, literally. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So my sister Blair is fast asleep right on the other side of that wall. So I'm just going to talk a little bit quieter than normal because I don't want to disturb her and wake her up, because that wouldn't be very nice. So this video is going to be a continuation of my last video, which was a reading on Beneath the Glitter, the novel that we have coming out in a couple of weeks. And I wanted to do another video because I wanted to do more of a reading because a lot of you guys really liked the last reading, and also I wanted to show you guys that I finally have the finished version, the finished book that will be on the shelves September 4th, available for purchase. I'm so excited because before this I only had the advanced reader's copy, and now I have the actual novel, which is so exciting. So, and if my voice sounds a little bit sleepy, it's just because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I kind of feel like I sound sleepy, but I think it's just because it's mental, because I'm wide awake right now. And then I also wanted to show you guys what it looks like without the flap on. I don't know why, but this is something that I always look at in books. I just love books that look a little bit vintage, and so I love the way this looks without its cover flap. It's a cream color and it has light pink on the edge. Oh, I forgot this camera has autofocus, so I can actually show you guys. And I just love that because I think it looks so vintage. So even without the cover flap on it, I don't know, I just think it's so cute. So I'm going to do a little bit more of a reading. If you haven't watched my last video, you definitely should watch that one before watching this one, because this one's going to be a direct continuation of the reading that I did in my last video. So in the last video, I read the prologue, which is the very, very, very beginning of the book. And in this one, I'm going to continue on exactly where I ended. So I'm going to pause this video for a second and click on the screen. I'll put a link or an annotation on the screen, and click on it if you haven't seen the reading before, because this one won't make as much sense unless you've done that one first. So chapter 1 is called Sister Darity. Oh my goodness, this makes me so nervous. I don't know why. I said that in my last reading too. I just feel like I'm exposing a project that was so near and dear to me. Okay, Sister Darity. 5 months earlier. So this is 5 months earlier than the prologue was. It was the kind of day that was made for kissing, Sophia London thought, and immediately wished she hadn't. Still, there was no denying it. Blue sky, puffy clouds, rich, buttery light that gave everything it touched a slight golden sheen, turning skin luminous and the grass that bordered Beverly Boulevard a rich green. Behind her, her younger sister Ava tried to coax her puppy, Popcorn, away from a particularly delectable fire hydrant. It was warm with a hint of a breeze, just enough to make you want to nestle into someone's neck and get them laughing as your hair tickled their nose. Stop it, Sophia told her brain. And no checking messages, she ordered her hand, already on the way to the pocket of her bright coral blazer. Sophia caught her hand sneaking back towards the pocket and rerouted it to check the bow at the neck of her lacy cream blouse. There wasn't a message. There wouldn't be a message. There shouldn't be a message. So why did she care so much? Her life was pretty much perfect. Ideal, she corrected herself, just the way it was. Sure, it was a lot of work, but it was still amazing, a dream. What else could you call waking up every morning in Los Angeles, a place where the weather was almost always fantastic, and you could find yourself in line at the supermarket next to someone you'd been watching on TV the night before? Living in Hollywood with Ava, seeing where they could take their London calling brand, every day a new adventure, she had everything she needed. And yet there were days like this one, when everyone around her seemed to be living in a romantic comedy movie montage, strolling arm in arm and feeding each other strawberries from a farm stand, and talking about what movie to see, and smiling up into each other's eyes and giggling for no reason, and running to catch lights and exchanging quick, intense kisses. Days like this, Sophia felt a little lonely. As she toyed with the ends of her blonde hair, she thought that it didn't help that today would have been, she corrected herself, her 3rd anniversary with Clay Cutter, the football player with the boyish smile she dated from the summer after her freshman year of college until 3 months earlier. She could still picture him standing there in his tuxedo, his face all gorgeous and intense in the light of the full moon. Could hear the sounds of music and laughter from the Valentine's Day formal behind them. Could feel the fingers of cold creeping over her as he said, ... Do you think I should shave my head? The sound of Ava's voice next to her jolted Sophia out of her memory, but it took her a moment to register what she'd heard. Ava and Popcorn shot by her, so she had to rush to catch up with them. "Did you just ask me if you should shave your head?" Ava nodded, her dark brown ponytail bobbing up and down. "I was trying to see if you were listening." Popcorn zigzagged across the pavement in front of them, rushing from side to side to sniff at everything. "Do you have any idea what I've been talking about for the last 5 minutes?" "Of course," Sophia said, pretending to be hurt by the accusation. Ava moved her eyes from Popcorn to her sister. "Really? Pinky swear?" Sophia sighed and her shoulders sagged. "Well, no." Ava stopped walking, much to the dismay of Popcorn, who began popping up and down at the end of his leash like he was trying to live up to his name. Crossing her arms over her chest, she said, "Are you finally going to tell me what's wrong?" Sometimes Sophia wished that Ava didn't know her as well as she did. It was like being scrutinized in a slightly too effective magnifying mirror. "It's clay, isn't it?" Ava said, her eyes filled with sympathy. "Yeah, I guess I'm just feeling a little bruised." Sophia let out a deep breath she didn't realize she had been holding. Just saying it out loud made her feel a little better. Acknowledging how 1 minute she'd been a princess in a fairy tale, heading into the happily ever after sunset with her Prince Charming, and the next, she'd been frozen on the steps of her sorority house, staring into the empty space where he'd stood, back at Square once upon a time and wanting to be anywhere but there. "All right, I know just what you need," Ava nodded positively, pulling out her phone. "I'm staging a sistervention." And that, as well as some string pulling from their connected to everyone and their housekeeper neighbor, Lily Van Alden, was how half an hour later, Sophia found herself seated at the coveted corner table at the patio at Toast, with Ava, Popcorn, Lily, No one knew what the initials stood for, he said. "It's pronounced like the Campbell soup ads because I'm that good." M's new boyfriend Sven, and a massive cinnamon roll. "No pausing," Ava ordered, "and no sharing. You have to eat the whole thing right away for the cure to work." "Cinnamon rolls are not medicine," Sophia said, hastily taking the pastry back from Okay, now I'm going to skip ahead a few pages because it goes into describing all of their friends and how they met them and what they look like, and kind of gives you a visualization since it is the very beginning of the book. So Sophia's pocket has begun to buzz, and you know she's been waiting for a text all day. Sophia jumped. She's been so distracted she'd forgotten to think about checking it now, but her heart began to race. It won't be him, she told herself sternly. Still, her fingers were shaking with excitement when she reached into her pocket to pull it out and turned the screen towards her. We've all known that feeling when we're waiting for someone to text you. It wasn't him. You knew it wouldn't be, she reminded herself. And yet... "Anyone exciting?" Lily asked. Sophia swallowed hard and kept her eyes down, blinking back the tears that were burning at the corners. "Just my date from the other night," she said. Lily directed her green eyes to Sophia. "Wasn't that the doctor who started talking to you in line at Starbucks?" she asked, excited now. "The one who seemed nice? Spinner?" "Skinner," Sophia corrected. "He was nice and smart, and he made me laugh a lot. And he likes me." "But," Ava prompted. "But," Sophia flashed them a gorgeous smile. "He collects spiders." Ava goggled at her. "You just made that up." "No," Sophia said brightly. "He claims they're the only ecological pet." "That is a fact," Sven confirmed, nodding vigorously. "The spiders, they're very good pets. So, how long did you last?" Sophia's fingers picked at the edge of her napkin. "I made it through the main course, but left before dessert." She looked at Ava. "I'm afraid you had an emergency." "Always glad to help," Ava said. "Was it something gross?" Sophia shook her head. "You locked yourself out of the house, in your pajamas." "Nice detail. I like that better than the time I was lost in the valley," Ava sighed. "How come you never use me?" Lily wanted to know. "I'm dying to be locked in a Tijuana jail." "That can be arranged," said. He ignored Lily, sticking her tongue out at him, and went back to Sophia. "Is that your new record? Making it through the main course is longer than your last date, right?" "Yes," Sophia said, shredding another inch of her napkin. She had no problem getting dates. It was just getting through them that could be a challenge. "I left that one before the food even came." Lily leaned her chin on the palm of her hand and assumed a look of intense concentration. Was he the agent who brought the fake bug so you could get your entree free, or the screenwriter who questioned the waitress about whether the pine nuts were harvested during the day or by moonlight, and if she could ask the chef precisely where the striped bass was caught because he didn't eat fish from certain latitudes? Or was he the one that talked about himself like he wasn't there and in all caps? "Blaine Knight!" Ava yelled happily, then lowering her voice 2 octaves. "Blaine Knight would like a double cappuccino." Sophia dumped a handful of shredded napkin snow onto the table. None of those. It was that real estate developer who tried to convince me to go see his therapist because she'd really helped him, and he could finally admit to his mother it was him who stole her lace underwear when he was 12 and not his sister. I can't believe you left that one so early, Lily said, meaning it. Just think about what else he would have shared. But I like the spider one best. He reminds me of the Buddhist guy who refused to exterminate his cockroach-infested apartment because the roaches might have been his reincarnated ancestors. Gross, Ava and Sophia said in unison. Yeah, I totally bugged out, Lily said, grinning. That's why I decided to do a boy talks. A what? Sophia said. Lily's eyes got huge. She turned and grabbed Sophia's wrist and said, You should do it with me. It will totally help your dating block. I don't have a dating block, Sophia tried to gently pull away. I just think I attract weird men. Seriously, who else here can say they've gone on dates with all these strange guys, all of whom were perfect on paper and very good looking? Lily kept hold of her wrist. Spider-Man, Blaine Knight, and lace underwear guy sounds like a dating block to me. Something is out of balance about the romantic energy you're sending out, so you're attracting the wrong kind of person. I thought my camera turned off for a second. I learned all about it in my Use Your Energy to Save the World seminar. Ava's dark ponytail slid over her shoulder as she tilted her head to one side and said, But what is a boy talks? A boy talks is like a cleanse, but for your personal life. I read about it in a magazine. It's a way to clear out stagnant dating energy, like after you end a relationship. A lot of times after a breakup, people distract themselves by taking Xanax, which means having flings or going on dates with lots of different people. But that just leads to more negative energy. The way to heal is to stop going on dates entirely. Do a total boy talks. If someone asks you out, you automatically say no. It takes away the pressure of thinking you should be dating. Sophia frowned. I'm not sure that sounds like fun. Lily shook her head. It's the complete opposite of that. I know someone who knows someone who did it and said it was the best way to meet men. It's like they can smell your unavailability. So while you're avoiding bad dates, you're meeting tons of guys, and then when you're done with your boy talks, you can choose the ones you connect with. Think of it like being at a fat-free buffet, all the choice and none of the downside. Sometimes I go to buffets just to look at the food, but then I don't eat any of it. Is it like that? Asked. Lily ignored him and stayed focused on her sales pitch. If not for yourself, do it for me. In fact, let's all do it together in the spirit of sisterdarity. I don't know, Sophia said. She looked at Ava. What do you think? Ava toyed with her fork for a minute, looking torn, then spent a little too much time straightening the napkin in her lap. But when she finally looked up, she gave a smile and said, Sure. So how long does a boy talks last? And then at the end of every chapter, we have a section with Lund-dos and Lund-don'ts. So this one says Lund-dos: cinnamon rolls, lacy blouses, bright blazers, and a nail polish collection the size of a nail salon. Lund-don'ts: being forced to eat an entire large cinnamon roll yourself. Rude. Boys who collect spiders. People who talk about themselves in all caps. Puppies who don't act menacing when you need them to. Ava after more than 1 cup of coffee. Sophia before 1 cup of coffee. So that is the end of chapter 1. With a little bit missing in the middle where it was describing some of the friends. I just think it's such a fun storyline. And I think it's very relatable because a lot of the things that are addressed in this story have to do with sisterhood, but they also have to do with things that a lot of girls go through when they're, dating and kind of discovering themselves and growing up and kind of on their own for the first time. And I think that a lot of the situations that Sophia and Ava get themselves into are things that people can really relate to, and situations and people that they meet that you feel like you have met someone like that in real life. So you can really relate to the characters. It's not necessarily about them living this glamorous Hollywood life. It's more about them just being like normal girls that are trying to figure it out. So I definitely used a lot of my own, my own experience with terrible dates gone wrong as part of the inspiration for some of the crazy dates Sophia goes on. But I think that everyone has that one crazy story where they're just like, how do people like that exist? And how did I find them of all people? So, but she ends up being very happy. She has adventures in love, and so does Ava. So yeah. Also, since my last reading, I've gotten all of the information about our book tour, the dates and the cities that we'll be stopping in. So I pulled up my computer just so I could read these off to you really fast so you guys know if we're coming to a town near you. On Tuesday, September 4th at 4 p.m., we will be in Rockaway, New Jersey at the Center Court at Rockaway Town Square Mall. Thursday, September 6th at 7:30 p.m. we will be in Los Angeles next to the Cellairis kiosk at the Beverly Center. Little Black Bag is sponsoring our Los Angeles signing, so if you come to that one, they are going to do a giveaway and an unboxing like in line. So it's just something a little bit extra. And that one is on Fashions Night Out, so you're going to want to be at a mall anyway. Fashions Night Out is the one night a year where there's going to be amazing sales and the mall's going to be open late. There's going to be a lot of people at the Beverly Center, and a lot of celebrities are doing like appearances there as well. So it's just going to be fun to be there that night. September 8th at 1 p.m. we will be in Bloomington, Minnesota at the Mall of America. September 12th at 7 p.m. we will be in Skokie, Illinois at the Barnes & Noble Westfield Old Oakard Mall. September 13th at 7 p.m. we will be at the Barnes & Noble Fireable Town Center in Garland, Texas. September 15th at 1 p.m. we will be in North Point Mall in Alpharetta, Georgia. So those are the 6 stops that we will be doing in our book tour. And I mean, I cannot even believe that September 4th is literally like 2 weeks away. That's so crazy. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And if you are near any of the 6 book tour stops and you're going to come out to see us, leave me a comment below telling me that you'll be there. It just will help me get like really super excited because I want to meet you guys and I want to share like my baby, which I'm so like nervous about this too, because I'm like, what if they don't like it? Because this is so like my little project, but I think you will, hopefully. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this middle of the night book reading video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.